Okay, so how do you grow a YouTube automation channel quickly? In the last 9 months, I grew a channel from zero to over $10,000 in revenue. And the goal with this video is to show you how I did it so that you can do the exact same thing. I'll be laying down the fundamentals I used to get to that point so that you can then take those, apply it to your own channel, and grow a $10,000 a month YouTube channel. In order to get that started, we need to take a look at the first mover advantage. The first mover advantage can simply be defined as the YouTube channel's ability to be better off in a specific niche than the competitors. Now, this is extremely important in business in general because if you take a look at some bigger companies, they had the first mover advantage and they went on to make billions and billions of dollars. Now, the same applies to your YouTube channel, and here's why. So with YouTube, it is extremely important to get initial traffic. So your first couple of views and subscribers are always the hardest to get. But if you got that first mover advantage, it's going to be easier for you to get that initial traffic, which you can then use to go on and build a bigger channel. Netflix is a company that had the first mover advantage. In 2007, so all the way back 15 years ago, they started a video streaming platform, which then was not very common yet. As of right now, it's still one of the biggest companies along with Amazon and Hulu. Because they had that first mover advantage and they were one of the first to properly do this at scale, they were able to build a billion-dollar company. And the same applies to YouTube channels. That's exactly what I did myself to grow from 0 to 10K a month very quickly. I moved into a niche where I had the first mover advantage. So listen to this. You've got niche number 1, which could be the car niche as an example. Now, the car niche is already out there. There are multiple channels. In fact, there are hundreds of channels in the car niche. So you don't have the first mover advantage. So in order for you to build a successful channel there, you're going to have to make the best content in the niche, and it's going to be a little bit harder to get found and build up that initial traffic. Whereas if you go into a different niche, so for example, niche number 2 could be the metaverse niche, which is pretty new actually, you can easily get that traffic because it's new. It's pretty much supply and demand, right? So there's this niche where there's not a lot of supply yet, but there's a lot of demand. So if you then jump in and you create the supply, then obviously it's going to be easier to get those initial views, which then brings us to fundamental number 2, which is creating the golden feedback loop. So once I've got that niche where I can have the first mover advantage, I'm going to move into the golden feedback loop, which goes like this. So the golden feedback loop starts with uploading. Just like any social media platform, you need to upload videos. With YouTube, that is no different. In order for you to get the data you'll need, you need to upload videos, because with no videos, there's no data. So step number 1, upload videos. Now, because you're going to be a first mover, it's going to be easier for you to get that initial traffic. So you're going to get views and subscribers pretty organically because the supply is way less than the demand. Next up, which is point number 2, you should then analyze the data. This is what I did myself pretty heavily when I grew that channel from 0 to over 10K in revenue within just 9 months. I uploaded a lot of videos and then later on I analyzed the data, which is pretty much the secret to growing. A lot of people don't do this, so if you do this and you apply that data in the correct way, which I'll get to right now, you're going to be able to improve your videos and get better results. Because how do you grow a channel? You make better videos, and with better I don't mean 4K or better like backdrops just like this one. No, it's better watch time and better CTR. So the more people click on your video and the longer they watch, the better. How do you do so? By looking at the data. So in your YouTube studio, you can find anything you need. You can find the retention, the click-through rate, where people click off, where they keep watching, and everything you need just like that. What you should do is create a list of things that work and a list of things that don't work. You write down exactly what works. So just an easy example, let's say that green thumbnails are performing much better than red thumbnails. You keep going with green thumbnails and you eliminate the red ones. And you want to do that in every single element within your YouTube videos. So for example, if you do an intro and a specific type of intro is not working well, eliminate that. If you're doing a specific type of intro and it's doing well, then obviously keep doing that so that you can improve your videos. If you then do that with every single element within your YouTube channel, you're going to go like crazy because every single point that is working, you're continuing to use that so that you can keep doing better, and everything that doesn't work you're eliminating, meaning that your videos will continue to get better and better, which will then lead to a better performance. So once you've got that list of stuff that is working well and that is not working well, it's time for you to apply the data. This is what I did myself. I'll show you a screenshot, and as soon as I did that, my chart started going up like crazy, pretty much exponential growth. The reason for that is I wrote down exactly what it is that worked, I wrote down what it is that didn't work, I eliminated that, and I kept going what it is that worked. So once you've got that list, apply it to your video, improve your video, and then it's time for you to upload that new improved video. So to break that down, you upload videos, you then take a look at the data, you write down what works and what doesn't work, you continue to do what works and you eliminate what doesn't work, you apply that to the video, you then upload that brand new video, and there you go. Those are the 5 steps of the golden feedback loop. In order for you to then create the system, so pretty much the infrastructure to keep doing that, I suggest applying this every 1 or 2 weeks to your entire channel. So take a look, do that research on what it is that is working and what it is that is not working, and then you can continue to improve your videos and kind of create that snowball effect. First of all, in terms of improving your video, and then second of all, you should get that in performance as well. And don't worry if it doesn't work right away. It takes some time for your data to come in, to have proper data, because if the data is just from 1 view or a couple of views is not accurate. As soon as you've got a couple hundred views, you can analyze it and then continue to do so. Now, to end off this video, and don't click off because this is really important, the first mover advantage doesn't mean that you cannot do this if you're not the first person in this niche. In fact, it is probably better if you're the second mover or the third mover. You get the point. As long as the supply is going to be less than the demand, it can be a great niche for you, because if there's a first mover, and we've seen this with technology companies like Nokia and a couple more, they were the first movers but they failed. Then Samsung and Apple, they kind of followed along and then they became the main ones. So if there's a channel already in a specific niche that you could consider as the first mover, that doesn't mean that you cannot get into it, because that channel could be laying the foundation for your channel to blow up and succeed, because you can learn from their mistakes, or you can copy what it is that is working well for them. So they are basically the ones that are creating the path for you that you can simply follow. That could work out very, very great as well. I know there's not some secret magic niche that can get you started, but these are the fundamentals. If you learn these and you apply them, you can do this within any niche so that you can actually replicate it, so that you can continue to make more money and basically don't be a one-hit wonder with a channel. So if this business model sounds interesting to you and you want to get started, you could check out the link down below. I have a step-by-step video program that will show you how you can set up your own team so that they can go on and make the videos for you, so that you don't have to show up on camera. You basically don't have to do the active work in terms of video production, and you can focus on actually growing your business and making money rather than sitting here making videos. Especially if you're shy, that's going to be great. So check out the link down below if you want to, and then I'll see you in the next one.